2019, I built an LED Christmas star using stiff wire, 60 WS2812B LEDs and an Arduino Pro Mini microcontroller. While it served its purpose for Christmas decorations, its design had flaws and assembly proved challenging. The solder occasionally detached from the wire, necessitating frequent fixes. Therefore, I decided to redesign it from the ground up. Inspired by my 2021 LED Christmas tree project, where the PCB was also functioning as the structure, I started with creating a simple parametric star shape using FreeCAD. Once I was happy with the new design, I moved on with selecting components and outlining the circuit. I discovered some tiny 1.6mm WS2812B LEDs, which are perfect for this project. For controlling them, I went with an ESP8266 because it is quite small and I had a few of them laying around. Since the ESP needs 3.3 volts and the LEDs 5 volt, I also added a linear low dropout regulator to be able to power the star with the USB wall adapter. Next, it was time to create a schematic and PCB with KiCAD. Since there weren't any footprints for the LEDs and I wanted to mount the ESP on the backside for a clean look, I needed to create some custom footprints first. With the PCBs being soldered together like the Christmas tree, another custom footprint was needed for the edge connections. Translating the FreeCAD design into a PCB, I developed 3 different PCBs for the straight, tip and pit sections of the star. Given the small size of the LEDs, I aimed for a star with 100 of them, with 9 in the straight section and 1 in each tip and pit. To reinforce the exposed copper pads at each end, I strategically added vias in the center of each. The design files were then sent to the sponsor of this video. PCBWay is your go-to partner for high-quality PCB manufacturing and assembly services. They are currently running a special Christmas sale. Take advantage of this festive season to get amazing discounts on their services. Whether you are a hobbyist or a seasoned electronics enthusiast, PCBWay's Christmas sale is the perfect opportunity to bring your projects to the next level. Visit PCBWay.com to explore their wide range of services and start turning your innovative ideas into reality. Thanks again to PCBWay and happy holidays to all viewers. Upon receiving the PCBs, I decided to use my Lumen pick-and-place machine for the first time. After printing a PCB holder 3 times, setting up the machine several times, fine-tuning image pipelines to perfection, reprinting component tray holders because the LEDs kept falling out, spilling everywhere, it was finally time to run the full job. And I forgot to reconfigure the feeder, as well as the PCB height. Eventually the process ran smoothly, but I did not want to waste the spilled LEDs, so I assembled the last few PCBs by hand. With the PCBs ready, I began assembling the star, soldering the parts together. During testing, a minor issue arose where one LED segment failed to light up. Upon taking a closer look under the microscope, it was quite clear that one of the LEDs was misplaced. Using my tiny hot plate, I corrected the mistake. Subsequently, I soldered all connections on the back side and added the microcontroller, but not before uploading the necessary software. For that, I am reusing the code of the old Christmas star, which you can also find on GitHub. However, I needed to make some modifications to be able to wirelessly upload software updates and also offset the position of the first LED. While modifying the code, I also realized that controlling the LEDs with the TX pin was a bad idea because it will interfere with the serial output. Fortunately, I added a solder jumper to the PCB, so I just soldered on a wire to a different GPIO. After soldering, the PCB was quite dirty, so I decided to clean it with some paper towel and isopropyl alcohol. Finally, I added a USB cable to power the star and secured it with some hot glue. Comparing it to the old design, the new star is smaller at 25 cm compared to 45 cm. The extra 40 LEDs significantly improve its appearance. While there's room for improvement, considering combining corner pieces with straight sections to reduce the PCB count from 20 to 10, the overall result is a more visually appealing and robust LED Christmas star. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I wish you a joyful Christmas season.